Alright, so this is part 2 of how to install the Crimson Trace Laserguard. I was left off of part 1 saying that the Laserguard is designed, I think, for 3rd generation Glocks, but it will fit 2.5 generation as well as 2nd generation Glocks. It does not fit 1st generation Glocks. All this information you can find on their website. You can also email their customer service and they should get back to you within a few days. But I just left off saying that you can see there's a little gap between the Laserguard and the Glock 27. But it's not very noticeable. It's not a big deal, especially if you have this in the holster. So unless you plan on going, crawling through the mud, I know this shouldn't be an issue. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble this, and I'm gonna put it on to the Glock 23. So I'm kind of doing this kind of backwards. All right, so you're gonna get this little pouch, and it has all these little tools in it, as well as cleaning swabs, and you're going to take one of these small Allen wrenches, and this is what you'll use to adjust the, you'll use this to adjust the windage and the elevation of the Laserguard. The elevation is right there, and the windage is right there on that side. Okay, so that's a good feature. You can adjust that. And there's 2 screws, 1, 2, and on the side, coming over 1, 2. And this is the master on-off switch. Let's see if it's on. Go ahead and switch it off. Just press it once, and it's off. And that's the activation pad. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off. So all you gotta do is come on this side. You're gonna come on the left side, and you're just gonna kind of stick this in there, kind of loosen it. I tightened this pretty nicely when I installed it. So it takes several more revolutions to get this screw off. But when you're doing it, you can see the screw starting to come out. Okay. Now it comes out enough that I can just use my fingers to kind of take that off. It is a very thin screw, so you want to be careful not to use too much force and damage it. Same thing with this other screw. Takes a few minutes to get everything off properly. I thought about editing this part out just to shorten it, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it in real time so you guys can see how long it'll take for you to switch this between different Glocks that you may have. Alright, again, it's come out enough where I can turn it. Okay, and there's that screw. And so now both screws are out. You can kind of see daylight going through them like that right there. And you want to take off the left side first. So all you gotta do is pull on this thing for it to come out. Bear with me for a second. It's snapped in nice in there. Okay. It's trying to come apart. Alright. There it is. So that's the left part of the Laserguard. And this shows you the anatomy of the inside. That's just the battery, and this is the laser diode. That's where the laser is housed in. And now the right side gets to come off. So just pull it off like that, and there's your Glock 27. So again, this is what the laser looks like on the inside. This is the activation pad right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and install it on the Glock 23. What you want to do first is you just want to make sure that it all snaps into place. So go ahead and align the trigger guard with the laser guard. Sometimes I tend to get those two mixed up, but notice that the Glock 23 second generation does not have the finger grooves, but because it's curved, it should still fit. Okay, right there, you just snap it into place, and then as simple as taking the other side and just matching it. It's kind of like a little Lego. Just make sure it fits. See, this part goes in first, and then bam. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and screw it in because I'm going to put this back into my carry gun as a 27. But I just want to show you guys how it comes apart, and how you can install it on a different gun. And obviously, if you're doing this for the first time, just like me taking from the 27 as is, you just laser grip, just laser guard, and sticking it onto the 27, onto the 23. Wow, I'm just getting everything wrong today. So without the screws, if you want to, you can press the on-off switch, and there's the laser. It's very bright. I think it's the maximum brightness allowed by law. One of the things of the Laser Max is that when it strobes when it's activated. But for the Crimson Trace lasers, it's just one steady stream of laser. Unless you want to keep pressing the pad, then you can get that effect. But the steady stream of laser, that's fine for me, because all I need it is just once. I need to come up once, pick up on that red dot, see where the thread is, and take the appropriate measures. On the range, steady stream actually helps because it tells you, kind of gives you the telltale signs of where the gun's going. Again, I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, if you're doing this really close, you're not going to notice any changes. But if you are standing like 30 yards away from the target, one little twitch like that, and then you see the laser, be doing something like that. So it'll be going over the place. So that's how you put this thing back in. And just want to address some issues here with the second generation Glocks. You can kind of see that part of the laser guard. It comes a little bit over the trigger guard because the second generation, it won't fit perfectly. On the bottom, you see that little gap in there, and right there, the activation pad against the grip. You see how it's not flush against it. There's that little gap, that little black space right there. So that's the problem with the second generation Glocks and the laser guard. But it works. I mean, it assembles. All I gotta do now is put the screws in, and to do that, same thing. Always screw it from the left side. Put the two screws in. Use the Allen wrench. But those aren't problems for me because unless you want to go, crawling through the mud, that shouldn't be an issue. When you order the Crossbreed Super Tuck with this option, the 23 model with the laser guard and the 27 model, if you put the laser guard on there, it'll both fit the Kydex. And the bottom line is that it may not fit flush, but it works, and that's what matters at the end of the day. You can also adjust the elevation windage for this gun. So that's pretty much how to install or take apart the Crimson Trace laser guard. The best laser, in my opinion, for the reasons stated in part 1. So if you guys are thinking about getting a laser, I highly recommend it. And I think in the future there's probably just going to be more holster manufacturers that are going to make holsters to accommodate this. I know Comtac is thinking about making these for the smaller guns like the Kel-Tecs, but they haven't announced anything official yet. But I think in the future there'll be more holsters that can accommodate this. So just something to think about. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any concerns or comments, and thanks for watching.